Hey y'all, it's been a minute since I made a video, and I gotta say, man, I literally just saw some shit where Freddie Gibbs claims that he is a better rapper than Doom, and that got me like, what the hell? My blood is still boiling and shit, and you know, it's got me to even respond to this shit because I just can't believe. I mean, this to me is like probably the worst thing I've heard this whole year. Because it comes from the underground crowd, and that's when it's really disappointing. Like mainstream hip hop, that stuff's been bullshit for decades, so that's okay, whatever. But when it comes from an underground artist that is supposed to be real hip hop and championing the culture, and they say stuff like that, it just shows you how dead this whole shit really is. I cannot believe that Freddie Gibbs would even say that. And to me, it's the Action Bronson thing all over again. Freddie Gibbs is not necessarily biting MF Doom hard, although he is really, like when you think about it, he is actually biting that whole I'm gonna do one album, Madvillainy. He's taking the Madvillainy brand and sort of situating himself in it. So he is biting pretty hard. He's just not going all the way like Action Bronson was, where Action Bronson was literally trying to clone himself, or trying to clone Ghostface and become that, but was doing it horribly. Let me tell a little story about Madvillainy. I first heard Madvillainy when it came out. That was the first time I ever heard Doom. So this was like 2004. And I remember I was in college. Now, keep in mind, I've been listening to rap seriously for 7 years at this point. I started listening to rap real heavy in '97. So I'm not no new listener to this. Like by 2004, I've heard just about, I'd say most, especially in the mainstream, I had heard everybody. 2003, 2004 was the year for me that were really pivotal for me, is when I started to dig really deeper, because that was when like hip hop started becoming really shit. So I started digging into older stuff and really getting my knowledge up. Anyway, a college student that I knew was like, "Yo, there's this new album called Madvillainy, and there's this guy Doom, and he's amazing." I'm like, "Amazing?" He's like, "He's better than Nas." I was like, "Better than Nas? Get the fuck out of here!" So he plays me, I think it was Curls, a record or something like that off the thing, and I listened to it like, "What is this goofy shit?" I did not get it. It literally sounded like total garbage to me, and I was like, "This is garbage." Then he played Raid, and I was like, "What?" Like, this is just some white boy, indie, not indie rock, but like electronic weirdo shit, like goofy, def jokesy kind of stuff. I was like, nah, this is garbage. I'm not fucking with this. But it's funny because something about those two songs stuck to me in a weird way, and I remember playing it for my brother just as a joke, and I said, "Hey, yo, check this out! Like, this dude is telling me that there's this new guy dude who's like super fire." I played it for my brother. We were laughing at how garbage the shit sounded. We were just like, we just didn't get it. It just made no sense to us. So at some point, what happened? Um, at some point, I found a video for accordion because I thought it was interesting that there was a song called Accordion. I was like, well, so the same guy made a song called Accordion? Okay, let me take a look. And I put it on, and I'm watching the video for Accordion. And he starts off, the beat kicks in, and I was just like, what the fuck? It's be crazy. And, he goes in, living off borrowed time, the clock ticks faster. And right then and there, I got it. Like, I was like, oh, this shit is brilliant. I went back, showed it to my brother, and I've never done such a 180 on an artist in my life. And we went, wow, what the fuck? This is incredible. And then from there, it was like Rhinestone Cowboy. The stuff that we thought was whack, we were listening to it again and just being like, got more soul than a sock with a hole or some shit. That's the like, I mean, legendary genius shit, to the point where Doom has a lot of sons in this game. Don't get it twisted. I mean, Drake is a fan of Doom. I think Drake has probably even appropriated one or two bars from MF Doom. You've got Joey Badass, Earl Sweatshirt. There's a whole bunch of these dudes that have come out. Nehru, Bishop Nehru, they were all doing Doom. Doom's got so many sons. So for Freddie Gibbs to sit here and tell me that he is somehow a better rapper than Doom is unreal. It's like it's a level of arrogance that, to me, should be completely checked. Because the problem, and this is the problem with letting subpar dudes like Freddie Gibbs come into the game. And best believe, Freddie Gibbs is subpar. The dude is trash. He has never made a dope song in his life. There's not a single song by Freddie Gibbs that you'd be like, that's dope. That's one of the dopest songs I've ever heard. That's a that's a signature record. He doesn't have one. All these years he's been rapping, he doesn't have one. You know why? Because his voice is kind of whack. His beats are meh. A lot of them are. Most of them are pretty subpar and underwhelming. And his lyrics are boring. He ain't saying nothing. You know. So for a guy who has no songs to talk about someone who's influenced a whole slew of people, who's a dude like Doom who's literally got a classic album and a gang of classic records, is like the height of hubris. It's the height of arrogance to me. And this is why you don't let these guys in, because they love to talk that I'm real hip hop shit in the beginning. But really a lot of these dudes are wannabes. They're just there because they want to rap. It's not like they have the skill for it, the love for it, the deep down like artistic drive for it. They just want to be rappers. They're wannabes. So they come in, they play a little game, whatever. They get the right cosigns, and once they get there, then they start acting dumb. Because at the end of the day, it was never that deep for them anyway. I just think it's unreal that he would even say that. You know, and all these guys to me that have come in doing this doomish thing, they're all trash. Like Joey Badass, better than Freddie Gibbs, but still pretty trash. Earl Sweatshirt, garbage. Bishop Nehru, garbage. I mean, like, there's a whole slew of these people that have been doing the Doom thing. And for you to even say that to me is like, how? Like, how could you even fix your mouth to say some shit like that? You're talking about a guy that is arguably one of the greatest rappers ever. I mean, in a long list. I mean, Doom, I wouldn't put him top 10, but Doom is top 50. Best rappers to ever do it, for sure. I would put him in top 50, maybe top 30, maybe top 40, I don't know. But my point is, he's there. Like, he's someone that people go, like, if you really know hip hop, you know about Doom. I know a cat, I'm gonna keep it 100. I know an OG who's probably in the 70s now, who was born and raised in the Bronx, who was around a lot of this hip hop shit when it started popping off. Knows all these rappers to a certain degree. And we've had this conversation, and Doom is his favorite rapper ever. Ever. So you're talking about a guy that grew up on Melly Mel, has witnessed this entire shit from the beginning, and Doom is his favorite rapper. And nobody is going to say that about Freddie Gibbs ever. It's just not going to come up in conversation because Freddie Gibbs is not dope. So I think underground rap really needs a referendum. Like, all these dudes to me are trash. Like, all of them. All these, like, bring hip hop back, throwback MC shit. It's all horrible. Griselda, horrible. And the thing is, they always come in with that cosign, that kind of like, oh, someone, I love hip hop, someone kind of brings them under their wing, whatever. And then, they start feeling themselves because at the end of the day, a certain audience, the backpacker real hip hop audience that just like that, they like the retrofitted sound. They like anything that sounds like what they've already used to, which is just whack to me, but that's beside the point. They start going, oh yeah, that's dope. And so they gas themselves. They don't realize that the real dudes don't even fuck with you like that. They don't fuck with you. They know the difference. Come on, man. Like, you really telling me that Bandana and Pinata are dope records ever? Like, they're not dope. They're just not. No one is going to look back on those records and say, damn, that shit was like, that was potent. Nah. But you know what they are going to do? They're going to look back on Madvillainy. They're going to look back on Operation Doomsday. Even some of the King of the Ghidorah shit. Victor Vaughn. Like, Doom has so many dope records. I cannot quote a line that Freddie Gibbs has ever said in his life because he's not dope. He's just not. Doom has got a gazillion dope records. If you don't know about Doom, you need to do your homework. You know, that video that Mos Def did, actually, like, talking about Doom, I mean, no one will ever do that about Freddie Gibbs. So anyway, I'm gone, man. You know, this is why I can't with like modern rap. It's a cesspool. You know, it's a complete cesspool. B.